everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here. What we're going to be making today is some smothered beef burritos. These are going to be absolutely amazing. I hope they're going to be absolutely amazing. I found this recipe on a recipe site and I thought it looked absolutely amazing. What I've started doing is, because we all get in recipe ruts, I get in a recipe rut, I know you get in a recipe rut, and sometimes we just get flustered, you know, thinking about things to make. So I started adding to my channel some recipe reviews. I think it would be absolutely amazing for the channel, and I think that you're going to like it. It's going to give you a lot more, you know, to choose from when it comes to cooking. And I'm only going to do recipes that are absolutely delicious. If it's delicious, you're going to see it. If it's not delicious, you're not going to see it. I want them to be quick and easy and absolutely amazing. That's my channel logo anyway, quick and easy and absolutely amazing. So like I said, these are smothered burritos. I'm going to make some little seasoned rice to go in them and maybe to go on the side as well. I think they're going to be amazing. I hope they're going to be amazing. I've got my stove on about medium. I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef to my pan here. And we're going to get this chopped up. And once we get this chopped up, we're going to add our onions in with it. Alright, we're going to start out with cutting our onion here, because we're going to saute that pound of ground beef that you've seen with an onion. So I'm going to get this cut up so we can add that right to our ground beef. And then we're just going to cook this ground beef until it's nice and cooked all the way through. Now while that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and chop up my garlic, because we're going to cook some rice to go in these stuffed burritos. We're going to use some jasmine rice. We're going to use this clove garlic. We're going to use a couple tablespoons of the tomato paste, and we're going to use about a cup and a half of chicken stock. In my little pot that I'm going to cook my rice in, I'm going to add about a teaspoon of oil to the bottom of the pot here. And then we're going to add our garlic in there, and we're just going to stir that around and just let the garlic start infusing into that little pot there. And while that's going on, I've got a cup and a half of water, and I stuck 1 chicken bouillon cube in there. We're going to combine just a couple good tablespoons of the tomato paste in there. Now, what you don't use, you can freeze it. It's so easy to just freeze. And we're going to whisk this together. Because this is what you're going to cook your rice in. You're going to add about a half a teaspoon of the taco seasoning mixture. That's going to give it a nice flavor. And once this comes up to a boil, we're going to go ahead and add our rice right into that. And then we're going to cover it and let it cook. Well, it's not going to cook, it's the instant rice. It's the jasmine rice. So we're going to cover it, take it off the heat, and we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Yes, I have to pardon my dogs. They're playing. I'm going to go ahead and add my rice to it. give it a stir. All right, you two. Then I'm going to place a plate right on top of it, and I'm going to push it to the back of the stove. Now, I'm not sure where my lid is. When sous chef gets in here and starts cooking, I start losing some of my stuff. I don't know what's going on with them. Go ahead and add your taco seasoning. You can add just a packet if you'd like. I make my own. That's probably about a good 3 tablespoons. I like to add about a half a cup of water to it. Any recipe, a half a cup of water when you're making tacos, because I like for my taco meat to have time to, you know, get nice and flavorful. It's probably a good idea to let you guys know that you need to preheat your oven to 325 degrees. I probably should have told you that before I got started doing this. I kind of forgot. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil to the bottom of my little pan here. If you've got the non-stick cooking spray, you can go ahead and use that. I don't have any on hand. And I went to the grocery store yesterday and I forgot to get some, so sometimes we forget. What I'm using today is these flour tortillas. These are like, it says soft taco, but they're a little bit bigger than a soft taco. To me, it looks like a, what do you call those? Fajita. Because the burrito wrappers are extremely, extremely big, so I elected to use these, even though the recipe called for the burrito wrappers. The burrito wrappers are like huge. So I'm going to do these 2 at a time. So what you do is you take your beans, and there's no, according to the recipe, you do not have to even heat your beans up. You know me, I would be flavoring my beans, heat them and flavoring them. You put you a little bit in the middle. And you can make these as fat as you like. Don't skimp, guys. Stir that. Look how amazing that looks. And my oven is ready. Now in the recipe it said that you could buy like the Spanish rice, like the Lipton Spanish rice, and use that, but I didn't have any of that on hand, so I just decided to make my own. You know how I am. You guys already know how you're dealing with here. Put your meat in there. Yeah, these are gonna be some big ones, aren't they? And then I'm using the Mexican style blend cheese. You could use any type of cheese you wanted, I would imagine. Let's see my burrito skills here. And you just fold and wrap. Wrap and fold, wrap and fold. And then you put your seam side down. Let's see how many I can get into one here. Okay, just like this, these are gonna go in the oven. The recipe calls for 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes at 350 degrees. All right, I had these in the oven for about 20 minutes, so I'll go ahead and add the red sauce right on top. And make sure you get red sauce, because I bought a red sauce and enchilada sauce. Well, I had a red sauce and I bought an enchilada sauce, and this is what the recipe calls for. So you're gonna add that right on top, and then you're gonna top it with your cheese. And it's gonna go back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes until the cheese is all nice and bubbly. And this is the remainder of my Mexican style cheese. And I also have some queso cheese that I'm gonna be using. just because I have it left over in the refrigerator, and Olivia said it's absolutely amazing, Mother. So it's a softer cheese, so I mean, we're kind of veering off a little bit from the recipe, but you know me. I'm special. All right, guys, back in the oven for about another 15 minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat.
I'm hungry now.
He's always hungry. He says that 24/7.
I'm still hungry now.
24/7, guys. Okay, I baked these for an additional 15 minutes. I'm just gonna top them with some green onions. Recipe didn't call for it, but I just thought it'd be a nice
We're
addition.
gonna eat this thing and we're gonna talk about it all day.
You gotta ignore him. He's ready. We're ready to try something new. Aren't we ready to try something new?
Ready to eat?
Like I said, he's always ready to eat. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I just shredded a little bit of lettuce just to go on the side of it. You know, just like you do at the fancy restaurants. The little Mexican restaurants. The little lettuce and tomato salad. I have some leftover rice. Okay, these look absolutely amazing, and they were really, it was really easy to make. It really wasn't hard to make at all. And as you've seen, I chopped up some, just shredded some lettuce up and some tomatoes, you know, just like they serve in the Mexican restaurants. And they had some leftover rice, so it's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna try a bite. Mmm. It was really good. Really good. Is that husband approved?
Yeah.
Husband approved. That's always a winner when it's husband approved. I definitely recommend that you try this recipe. Like I said, this is not my recipe. I found it on the World Wide Web, and it's definitely worth it. I'll be going through many more. We all get in a rut. We all get in a food rut, so that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you out. You know I love you guys very much. I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye. Take care.